Assalamu alaikum. We actually got a bit of snow. Finally looks like wintertime around here, like it should for this time of year. Hope you guys are all doing well. We're all doing pretty good over here. I'm really excited today because I got my that time when I went and got the blocks, he told me it would be about 5 weeks before they had some. And I just never heard from him. And so I thought, let me give him a call and see where I am on the list. So I called him and he told me, you know what, I think I forgot to write you down. But I got some ready. If you come get them today or tomorrow, I'll just sneak you in there. So I got two bundles, which cost me $50. And I'll let you guys have a look at what it is. It used to be a lot cheaper. It used to be $15 a bundle. Now it's gone up to $25 a bundle. But for $50, well, actually it cost me 75 because I had to hire a driver to bring it. And so they charged me 25 to bring it and unload it. This is what I got for $50. And it's just all different stuff. We usually sort it out. And I would say usually a third of it is usable for wood projects, building, siding, whatever. And then the other 2/3 we just use for kindling or for burning. Like these pieces here, they're hardwood. It's heavy duty stuff. Burns really hot. And the stuff like this, we would sort it out and use it as siding. That's actually what this whole wood shed here was made out of, is those, and we just painted them. And also the wash house here is sided with those. The frame is obviously 2x4s and 2x6s, but we use that to side the buildings with. And also most of those coops out there are made from the same material. So it's been a huge money saver for me. And I'm really grateful to get it. I wish it wasn't going up in price, but even for $50, I think this is still a good amount of material to work with. If it keeps going up, I probably would try to figure something different to use. But this is where I started sorting out some of the good stuff. But we're starting to get some snow, so I thought maybe I better take a break and get a tarp and cover it, because I don't know how much snow we're actually supposed to get. And we got quite a bit already. But it is beautiful. It's very beautiful. And it's not terribly cold. I mean, it's, mid to low 30s. So, I like it as a change in scenery. But I do hear that next week is supposed to be really bitter cold. So, not looking forward to that. Try to get some wood together and get as much outdoor work done as I can, and then I'll just do some indoor projects. I have a few things here and there that I could do indoor for a week or so to keep the ball rolling. So I got this tarp right here, and it's pretty big. I I want to get over there to cover the wood. I tried dragging it, but it was just so heavy, and I guess I'm kind of lazy, so I decided to try and stuff it in here and let Prince bring it up for me. The snow is just really coming down. But hopefully that'll be a little bit easier than me dragging it up there. Alright, I got it stuffed in there. It was a job getting it in there. Had a lot of dirt in it. That was probably what was making it heavy. I shook it out and stuffed it in there. And I'm getting ready to drive back up to the wood pile. And this is another plus thing of a horse. I think if you had came out here with a vehicle, you probably would have got stuck because the ground is still really soft. It's not frozen. Sorry about that. I had to put my glove back on. Okay. Yeah, Prince. It's way easier for the horse than it was for me, dragging this thing up here. And hopefully it doesn't come out before we get there. It is very beautiful out. Ooh. All right, we made it. This time maybe I'll remember to cover my seat so I don't get full of snow. And all right, mission accomplished. Got it covered. The bigger, more overwhelming project is to, look like I got company. Let me holler back at you guys in a minute. Assalamu alaikum. So those guys ended up staying till after dark. They did end up buying some chickens, so that helped me out a little bit. And they brought me a big truckload of pallets, so I was grateful for that. It was kind of unexpected, but definitely a benefit of networking with different people. I wanted to talk a little bit about happiness and what I think it takes to be happy. In my experience, what the secret to happiness. This time of year, I guess because it's so dark all the time, you always hear about people being depressed, and I think that majority of people living in the world in a fast-paced society are depressed and unhappy. And so what is the key to happiness? I've had like people even before. One time I went to town and I met a man and a woman from Detroit. I think they were mother and son. And they were here because of the prison in town, and they were visiting someone in the prison. And they were really amazed to see somebody living, we live off the grid and traveling with a horse and all that. And one of the things that I could kind of tell they wanted to ask, but they didn't really come out and ask it, but they kind of beat around the bushes. Basically they wanted to know how could you be happy living like that in this day and age when there's so much that you can have. How could you be happy living with less? So that just made me think about, what is being happy all about, and what is the key to happiness. And so I came up with a few points that I think it is the key to happiness, and I'll share it with you guys, and hopefully I'd love to hear some feedback on what you guys think on it. But the first point, and probably one of the more important issues or points, is that I think happiness is kind of overrated. Like, people feel that they should be happy all the time, and I don't think that is actually realistic. Like, happiness is just an emotion. It's just like being angry or being sad or whatever. You're not sad all the time, and you're not angry all the time, and you're not happy all the time. It's just something that comes and goes. And I don't think that it's realistic to feel like you should wake up every day and just be so happy, and everything is just hunky-dory, as they say. To me, that's just not really realistic, and there isn't no such thing as being happy. It's just a fleeting emotion that you get for a short time when something goes a certain way, and it's not lasting, and you shouldn't expect it to last. And I think at the end of the day, if you realize that, then you won't be as depressed. If you realize that just being happy, like some people want to be all the time, is not really, nobody's happy all the time. And I think instead of being happy, we as a human beings should strive to be content rather than to be happy. We should try to be content with what we have. And if we're not content and we need more, we have to be able to decipher needs from our wants. If all our needs are met, then we should be content. Like, I have a roof over my head, it's warm in here, it's like 20 degrees outside, blowing wind, and it's like 90 degrees in here. It's very warm and comfortable. I got a roof over my head. I got lights so I can see. Of course, it's not as nice of lights as the neighbors got. It's not so bright, but they're cheaper. And I don't have the bills that they have because I live on less and living on less, and so I'm content. I'm not, I don't have the stresses that they have, and that makes me content. That life is not so hard. I'm not struggling every day to meet all these very high standards that I feel in the back of my mind that are really impossible for me to meet. But for me to be something in society, I have these needs to meet. I think that's how most people feel that live in the city on the grid. Is that they feel somewhat some stress. A part of their life, maybe it's something they don't even realize, but there's a stress there, this drive that they gotta have this certain standard and be up there with the next guy. Whereas to be happy, you have to look at it from the other side, and look at what you already have and be content with it. And one of the things that I think is really awesome about living off the grid and that contributes to peace of mind and happiness is that you work hard, you get up early and you work hard all day, and at the end of the day, all the work that you've done is benefiting you. Nobody, you're not working in some factory somewhere for somebody, and you give them all the time and all the best years of your life working for them, and all you get is a little money in return, and you don't. Once the money's spent, you have nothing to show for it. So I think being happy, step one, you have to realize that it's just a fleeting emotion. We can't always be happy. So to cry over spilled milk, so to speak, cry because you're not happy all the time, or feel like you're missing out because you're not happy. The people that you see and think are happy are probably not happy. And the more you have does not make you happy. In order to be happy, you have to be content with what you have. That's where happiness comes from, is when you realize that even though you would like to be somewhere else, or you could be better off here, you're content because you could be worse here. And once you're content and realize that you got more than most people have, then the average American, even in the worst situation, for the most part, the average American has more than most people around the world have, especially in poorer countries. There's so many poor countries around the world. You think about how they live, this is rich to them. So at least I have everything I need, and I'm not hungry, I'm not starving, I have a roof over my head. I don't really have any reason to be depressed. So that's kind of the mindset that I keep, and I try to tell myself that if I'm feeling gloomy, I focus on what I'm content with, and if I'm not content, then I figure out how to be more content. Like if I don't like how things are, I fix it with my hands. If I want a better house, I want it to look better, then I do something to make it better, within reason, obviously, because you only have so much money, and you work to do the best you can. But if you do it yourself, you feel so much better about what you have, even if it isn't as nice as what the next person has. So point one, there's no such thing as being happy all the time. And two, strive to be content rather than happy, because being content is actually where you want to be. That you feel content and you feel satisfied that your needs are met, and you have a comfortable life. And thirdly, and this accompanies the first two, is to be grateful for what you have. Like if you're thinking about how much that you have and how worse it could be, then where you are never seems as bad as what you previously thought about. So anyways, I'm not going to preach you to death. That's just a few points that I have, and next time I'll share 3 more points on what it takes to be happy, or what is it, the meaning of happiness, the true meaning of happiness in today's society. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about it, and definitely give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy my videos and this type of content. Salam. So one more thing before I let you guys go. I wanted to know what your opinion was. I got my lantern brackets, and I just can't decide where I should put them. Should I put them on the side like so, like this one? Or should I put them down on the box like this one here? Just down on the box. I can't really decide which is better. I think that it's better if they're up on the side like that. But I've noticed mostly on single buggies, most people put them down here, like right about there. And then on the double buggy, they put them up on the side right here. So should I mount it right here? There's a board here. I can mount it there. I would have to be like right there. Should I mount it there? Or should I mount it down there? Guess you can't really see, but tell me what you guys think. I'd love to hear some feedback on that. Should I mount them on the side, or should I mount them down between the wheels in the back? Let me know your opinion. Peace, and see you guys next time.